Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and welcome back to PCM22. It's Classics Puncher, and this is episode 21. Last time we left off at the end of stage 2, leading the race, winning both stages, and we had 2 stages left to go. Stage 3, a sprint stage, and stage 4, a fairly simple, punchy stage. It looked like the race win was in the bag. I had maybe a 16-second cushion, and now I'm in 5th place. Quick sim on a flat stage that saw a bunch sprint in the peloton, and over 100 out of the 119 riders in the field finished in the peloton. I, with 0 teammates, finished 23 seconds or so behind and fell from the lead to 5th place. Are you kidding me? I've had not good luck with this series, but we still have a chance to win. We win this stage and make it 3 out of 4. We will make it back into the overall race lead and get the overall as well. But that task got from a slam dunk easy finish to it got a whole lot harder. 5 riders in the break, 3-minute, 20-second advantage, and I am the leader. I do have the team support. I am in the top 5 regardless, but it's going to take something special to win on this one because it's not punchy, hardly at all anyway. Bit more of a sprint. Did get a +2 race day condition. That's going to give me a little bit of a chance, and I have a legitimate shot at the points classification as well. Actually, I've got a great shot at winning the points. KOM not happening, never contested that, did end up with some points, but that was just for the stage win that we picked up. Looking fresh, looking good right now with 40k to go, and we're going to begin the final run of undulation, which is just in town, little up down swing on the hills. Very technical. I mean, we are going left, right, left, right, left, right here. So gotta keep an eye on that as we go through. That is the longest climb, and the penultimate climb is exactly like that one. This should be the final run in. We'll get a brief look at it here, though. Isn't this identical to what we just did on one of these stages? Looks like a repeat of the stage. There's your 1K. There's your final sprint, 2%, so it's definitely a sprint at the end. Slightly uphill. Really not much to that last one. We've nearly caught the break. The acceleration is just beginning. We've got 20k to go. Full team at my disposal, and a lot of these guys well behind. So we need to set things up and get kind of Bosenhagen at the front here initially. LeBert looks good. Oh, he looks very good. Alright, a lot of the team well placed at the front of the field, so it didn't take too long to get Mifsud into the front with his -3 and start pushing. Rue's going to also need a little support, but 14k to go. It's time to start putting the field under a lot of hurting so we can set this up for that final climb, final run in to be what it is. We're about to cross and begin the final lap. And Mifsud is done, so on to Rue. And 12k to go. We have full team now. Yes, full team is in place. Controlling the peloton. 2 more climbs to go. 10k already, and with how technical this is, it's hard to even push at times. So we want to kind of go flat out from here. Catch the field out, catch the sprinters out before they get in position. Now we're getting a lot more acceleration and may see field split off a little bit. Doesn't happen though. Day is done. On to Bosenhagen 7.4k. And now we're getting into better flat rating, so I'm going to drop off just a little bit on his tempo. 6K to go. Good time to gel up. Okay, I've got myself recovered, so now we can push on. Bosenhagen done. 2 lead out riders, 4K. Big old setup with a gap behind, field down to 50. 3K, sprinting because it's mostly downhill. 2K. I want Mifsud to just fall off. And look at that gap open. No, not these guys. Okay, go ahead and sprint. Okay, LeBert finishing his sprint onto me with 1K left to go. Off into the race lead, but can we hang on to it? We're not going to hang on. We're going to get second. Or are we? We got somebody close on our right-hand side. Oh, just holding him off. And we do it. We do it. So we come from behind in a shock that set it up in the first place. It was very much a shock that we were in this scenario. But we end up winning 3 out of 4 stages in this race. That should be enough to clinch the overall, unless Kilich was the one who had the yellow jersey. I don't believe he was in it, because he would have picked up 6 seconds. We would have only gained 4. And it was just enough. Robert Stannard finishes in second place, 3 seconds down. Gisbert is the other on the podium with Watson same time, but behind on countback. And Lacroix finishing 5th in the GC. And then the general contenders of the field that never gained time begins at 17 seconds back in 8th place. Van lost those 20-something seconds, so we would have finished well over half a minute ahead of everybody else. Well clear of all those chasers. 27 in the end were those chasers, as we did get that time separation on a couple of stages. Partial separations anyway, but tough situation that we found ourselves in after the 3rd place AI collapse, but we pull it back. That one was worth 50 points. It's a level up, though it's only a skill point for this one. With just a single win last year, my grand total is now at 8. That's 7 this season. And that did count as 4 victories. So 3 stages plus the overall doubled my total victories in my career. So that was a fantastic race for us. Despite the shortcomings of that 3rd stage, it did work out in the end. But 8 victories really helping. We're not too far off from double digits now, and that is enough that Total Energies want to hang on to us. So now we've got an interesting scenario of I have an offer in place, and then we have a team that may or may not ever bother to offer. It's yellow, it's not green. I have 5 days to make a decision on whether to accept it or not. Otherwise, we don't know if UNOX is going to give an offer. They are the highest one, but it's supposed to be the highest giving an offer. We just don't know if that's going to happen or not. So at this moment in time, UNOX, just 15 out of their 30 riders have a contract for the coming season, including their best riders. But after that, that's 15 riders that are absent. And I guess one of their best 3 from the looks of it. But Johannesson is definitely their best, as I have made some pretty direct comparisons with UNOX in my career mode save. It looks like they should have money, right? They haven't signed anybody yet. They have 15 spots coming available. I would instantly improve their top 3, which would improve their reputation. And you figure with 15 riders out, you have at minimum 30K, probably 40, 50K, and my salary would definitely be nowhere near that. And 30 riders is too big of a roster anyway for a Continental Pro team. So they could use with trimming that down into the low 20s. They could sign me and re-sign a half a dozen guys. So it's still mathematically possible that I could be a target for them. And as for where the market is right now, Quintana, Pollitt, Bagioli are the only 5-star talents that are out there and unsigned at this stage. Then you're getting down to the 4.5 stars, and where we fit in is we're supposed to be about 23K in value. And you can see kind of how that fits in salary wise. So we're on the high end of the 4.5 stars, meaning we're definitely up there. If there's an offer, it's about that time. The offer should be coming. And what happened? Total Energies has given an offer that's about to expire. UNOX, no offer at this point. And UNOX, actually, it looks like UNOX has a lot of expiring money. They do have some guys on minimum contracts, but they also have 4 or 5 that are making, 7.5 to 12.5. Meaning picking me up would be the equivalent of just 2 of them. So I have to decide, and I have to decide now. For one thing, reputation, even after those wins we just picked up, is still only local. I do not have much of a reputation, as we had not been doing anything prestigious, and we've been a domestique for the most part throughout our career so far. Obviously, Total Energies want us back, but UNOX is what we were trying to target. But I feel like we are right in that window that if they were going to offer us, now's the time, and we haven't seen it. So there's a good chance that it won't happen. There's no guarantee, and we didn't manage to push it all the way into the green. So I feel like we don't have a choice but to accept one more year. Now, in terms of quality, it is the highest offer we have, so that fits the rule set, and they are technically right there neck and neck anyway, same rating as UNOX, so it's not like there's a fall off. But with 1 day to go on the deadline, we're going to go ahead and accept one more year with Total Energies, though we have seen here recently that I am starting to emerge as a leader with the team, so it is a situation that's getting better. Getting late into the season now, and it's the final 30K of this race, and we're seeing a field that is yo-yoing a lot. There's a lot of briefly making contact, losing contact, and the pace, the tempo has been very high. I have a -2 race day condition, which is definitely not helping my situation, but I've stayed at the front, which has helped with all this yo-yoing within the field. Boudet, the only rider with me, he's got a +5. I do have a leadership status here for the day in an expectation of a top 15 finish in this race. Breakaway, 12 riders, still 48 seconds ahead. They should be caught, but and they start to split up, so they're definitely going to get caught. And the peloton is getting smaller. The groups behind are falling further back. So it looks like this could be the move of the day, the splits of the day. And Boudet is gone. Boudet has been dropped off. Cabot has been dropped off. Now there's 37 in the peloton, and I am alone. 7 left off the front, but 6 of those are about to be reeled in. Peloton coming back together a little bit momentarily. The yo-yoing still happening. Boudet is back in place. Let's see if we can't get him back up here to protect. Not sure how he got lost when he was giving protection, but okay. Now it's up to 102 as the peloton let up a bit after catching all but the last breakaway rider. And that little lift has allowed a couple groups to get back on. 11K to go now. And I still do not have a lead out man. It will be Boudet. Boudet is a strong sprinter, so that's a good lead out to have. And his +5 is giving him 78. That's going to get me that top 15 for sure. And with now 9K to go, he is back in place. We do not have other team support, so we're going to have to make kind of our final run in here shortly. Let's go ahead and speed up now. And we will gel as soon as we go under 6K. There you go. We want Boudet to lead us out at about 4K. All right. Let's get a little look at our run-in as well. This is the last little hill of the day. The finish line does seem to have the slightest uphill tick to it. And we are here about to make a big left-hander. No. Okay, yes. Upside down. Left, right, right, and then straight to the run in. And that's 4K. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4K. So it's a little over 1K. It's about 1.4K from the finish line, straight on in. Road looks plenty wide. All right, Boudet. Start bringing me forward, bud. Start with a 96. Get to that left-hand side. There you go. Already down to 3.5. Down to 3. And he is going to get into that front position now with 2.5. 2. Inside 2. Starting his sprint. Here's that final turn, the right-hander, and I sprint coming out of it. Definitely got the top 15. No doubt about it. Might have myself a podium. As a non-sprinter, a podium is pretty dang good. 3rd place. We got it. Koish, Lacroix, and myself. 1, 2, 3. 20K to go in this one, and the expectation is a top 5, but I have -4 on the race day condition. It's going to make it pretty difficult. That's -6 over the last 2 days, so not looking good on those draws, but with some team support, it can help mask the lack of stamina resistance that I have a fair bit, and it has. I mean, I'm still in pretty good shape here with just 18K to go. Field at the moment is down to just 29 in the peloton, and still 5 riders off the front that have not been caught. 17K and only 4 riders. We are going to set ourselves up here quite soon because, yeah, the groups at the back coming up. We're about to open a gap here, aren't we? I got Roux and Boudet following me a while ago so that they wouldn't get caught behind, which was a good thing I did that because, sure enough, you know, we've seen splits. This split's my fault. This split right here is my fault, but we're going to cover that ground here in just a moment. 15K to go. Yeah, it's already back together. And the breakaway has been caught. They're going to set up a little bit with those guys getting caught. And we do not want to set up. We want to continue to push on. You can see the effect of the +5 and the -4 on how we're looking, but it's minimal effect. I still have my sprint capability. I just don't know how well we're poised to get a top 5 in these kind of conditions. Plus, there's at least 2 elite sprinters at this one, and you know we're not going to compete with those guys. 11K to go now. Lannon's looking good. Oss is trying to get water. Too late for that, buddy. 56 at the front, and we are right there with B&B making the push. 10K to go. And we now get out front. And he is done. On to Roux. Roux's going to have to push a little bit harder, but definitely not max. I think we'll go at 91 from here. You know what? Roux has incredible pace today. Let's switch these two. Let Boudet get out front. There's 38 riders left, but we've got to stay near the front. That attack is not going to make it to the end. Coming up on 6K and almost full speed. Oh, that was made a little more complicated. Down to 28 at the front. 5K, 93, speeding it up a little bit more. 4K, now going full speed. Boudet pushing. Check our run-in. You're supposed to know what that run-in is. Left-hander right now. Straight to the finish line, I think. This should be the last turn. 2.8. Sprinting for Boudet. That was not the final run-in. Roux, 2K. It's technical. It's not what you thought it was. Roux's +5, dragging me along. Under 1K to go. Perfect lead out. I have the acceleration. I have that little punchiness, but I take the outside line, which was definitely not the fastest way there. It will be a top 5, though. Is it a podium? Right behind the elite and ahead of the elite sprinters. Are you kidding me? Look at that name. Lacroix, Cockard, Damar, Buwani all in the top 5. I get 3rd. Roux with his lead out gets 7th. He was fantastic. Boudet also 10th. And the field very, very much split there at the end. That was a difficult one to keep up on. -4, not doing me very many favors. The 72 sprint definitely not doing me any favors. Surrounded by 4 or 5 proper sprinters and still managing to get on the podium. Another good day. Very late into the season now, just a couple more races after this one. I don't think we're going to be in the World Championships, in particular because the World Championships are today and we're here. So, okay, that's fine. I didn't get selected, or my team superseded my option to be selected. I don't know which, but we are set to go for a top 10 finish on this one. A ill day in the saddle, but my race day condition is actually okay, all things considered. And I'm now going to push myself to the back of the group instead of the front of the group and have Arsalan begin pushing Os. Well, his role is done. He offered protection, so we'll let him fall towards the back of the group. And actually, maybe can he try to hang on? Probably not, but let's get this party started with 12K to go. Excuse me. Plenty of good sprinters at this one as well, so not the best, though. It's punchy World Championships, too, so it would have suited me well. 10K to go. Arsalan negates the attempted late attack there. 9K to go. And we're going to be on to Kalmajan now. 8.5K. I think we can start pushing quite a bit harder. Kalmajan 98. 99. Full speed. Now, what is our run into the finish line like here? Mostly flat, not totally. That was the finish line right there. So we've got to, I don't know which way, probably this way, and then on through. Very technical run in the rest of the way. So yes, we want to go 99 flat out from here. There's going to be a lot of little curves, and yes, that was that straight through. 5K to go, so gel. And I'm still feeling quite fresh as we go under the 3K banner. And with the technical run in, we're going to start sprinting here. 2.4. Still 2 lead out riders. Roux done. 1.5. Still looking really strong at this point. And we've split the field inside the final K. Close enough to go for it. I've got the acceleration. It's still technical. Boudet is going to steal the win for me. Can you maybe follow, please? Can we? There we go. Slow down. You're going to win. Ah! I said, well, you know what? He probably deserves it, right? He is a better sprinter than I am. I will get second place. But he's got a +2. And it's a 1-2 finish. You know what? It's good. It's good. The setup was so perfect that I got my lead outrider the victory. Sadly, I stole it from myself in the process. But it was a real steal if I was taking it from him. You could tell that, you know, the technical run in there. It was definitely the right call to start earlier on the sprinting and get things moving along. And I could have gone on quite a while longer. Boudet was done. I mean, red bar wise, he's done. But I just couldn't overtake him because Boudet is today like a 77, something like that. I'm 73.81. I had the acceleration. The acceleration got me up beside him. But then I couldn't overtake him until he was about to fade. But he didn't fade until the final meter or so. So We literally set him up perfectly. And either way, it was a great run-in and another podium. That is going to do it for this episode, though. Next time out, we will be finishing up this season and moving into the next one. I'm the Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe. See you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.